Hello, Statesmen listeners. It is June 30th, the last day of June. You're listening right now to Stuart Highcard, Junior Statesman. I'm joined today by Anthony Rossi, fellow Junior Statesman.
Hello.
We wanted to make another quick episode for you guys, a little update during our hiatus to promote a couple more important organizations that you can support, a couple of great causes, a couple of messages of hope, as well as just a special message to all of our listeners in the LGBTQ plus world. We stand with you, we support you, and we love you.
Yeah, happy Pride. One last happy Pride. The end of Pride Month doesn't mean the end of Pride. Everybody should be loud and proud and be who they are. But damn, Stu, what a difference a year makes. This Saturday is July 4th.
Oh, God.
The 4th of July.
So many days have passed since last 4th of July. What were we doing last year?
Last year, we had a giant event that feels like something that could never happen now, which was a big celebratory barbecue where we had like 20 plus, no, 20.
We were closer to 30 than 20, I think.
20 people come through our recording area.
Studio.
Yes, but we were out in the backyard, remember? That's a very important detail.
Yes, we moved the studio into the backyard because we were even then thinking about the fresh air aspect of things.
Right. But we were far past capacity, any capacity level that you could have in any phase of a rollout. And we do encourage you to go back and listen to that episode. It's not very patriotic. It's definitely more about the community aspect that we really miss. So,
yeah.
Obviously, this year, the 4th of July kind of doesn't feel like a holiday worth celebrating, because there is still so much injustice occurring right now.
Yeah, it's really hard to celebrate a holiday that is entirely based around the idea of freedom when so many people in America do not have that freedom.
Right. And it's also, one of the big points of celebration is fireworks, and we've been getting plenty of those across the 50 states.
Yeah, so please, if you want to celebrate, totally fine, but nobody out there is forced to celebrate. And if you want to have your own celebration to celebrate whatever it is that you feel is important to you, go for it. That's what we're doing at Statesman.
Yeah, and if you happen to be quarantined with any of your family and they're being really gung-ho about celebrating, it might be a good time to kind of talk with them about some of these issues that are going on and really kind of level set with where the conversation needs to be.
I think one of the most interesting things that have come out of the past 3 months is this realization that it is not on BIPOC folks to tell us that racism exists. It is on ourselves to police ourselves, speaking as two white guys. So when you are trapped at home with your family over the 4th of July, it is a great time to sit down with them and have honest conversations about maybe things they've said online in the past or how they affect what they say, how it affects you currently. Don't come at it from a place of attack, but we have to speak up, and silence is violence right now, and we will not be silent.
And there are so many people who are trying to be good who are just completely unaware of how far their privilege extends. There are still some people who think that they're good, wholesome Democrats who have no idea that white privilege is even a thing somehow. So it's really important to dive in and have those tough conversations. And also, like, people are probably going to be casually throwing around the fact that we've seen so many characters recast and episodes of work taken down. But it's important to remember that is not what Black people have been fighting for.
No, absolutely not. That is a symbolic change, right? And it means absolutely nothing to the people in these communities who are asking for actual systemic change to our institutions. I think you're going to hear a lot of drunk uncles bring up the fact that, Cleveland Brown is fired or whatever off Family Guy. Get over it. Sit them down. They're adults. They shouldn't be worried about these things, and we should all be able to come together and agree that making our friends and family more comfortable in the world they live in the skin they live in is far more important than any stupid fucking joke about a tub falling out of Cleveland's second-story house while he says, no.
Right. And also, it's more about defunding the police, and you have to fight the actual structures of systemic racism before you can start treating symptoms of it.
Exactly.
In any meaningful way. So, just remind everybody that's what's going on. And if you don't feel equipped to have those conversations, make sure that you come armed with some resources that you can point them to.
Hey, speaking of resources to be pointed to, we actually have just a couple to cover in this episode. I wanted to specifically bring up a resource that we talked about a few weeks ago and kind of addressed the same message. Some people have been saying this online recently that like signing petitions and doing all these things, that's symbolic as well because it's not making actual change. But just recently, the case in Colorado, my home state, over the shooting, the murder of Elijah McClain, has been reopened because of public pressure through a change.org petition. So anytime somebody tells you that this little help is not helping, remember that it takes a billion grains of sand to create a beach, and we all need to be working together on that right now. Another quick update on a different case. I need to get this out here. You heard it from us last week, and it's still true today. Breonna Taylor's killers have yet to be arrested or charged. It is insane. So please, if you can, just take a little bit of time out of your schedule, just a tiny bit of time, and contact Louisville Mayor Greg Fischer at 502-574-2003. Or a little bit more time and contact Special Prosecutor Attorney General Daniel Cameron at 502-696-5300. Or finally, just the tiniest bit more time and contact Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear at 502-564-2611.
If you've made a meme about Breonna Taylor's death, you are absolutely on the hook to make a call and take a more actionable step. This is not something that should be memed. It is a very important thing. So be making those calls and stay active and sign the petitions.
Absolutely.
And also remember that, calling for the arrest of cops is also kind of counterproductive to the movement. So start looking beyond, start looking beyond that kind of first level of reaction.
Sure. Yeah. It's what we have. I mean, what we just talked about, it feels good. We want justice to come to these guys, but yeah, it's not going to fix the system by just getting rid of these few bad officers, right? We need to fix the tree that's making the bad apples. With all of that said, I also want to point people towards another organization that I think we've shouted out before, but that is really incredible, and I saw a lot of hard work from at a protest this weekend. That first being Color of Change, the nation's largest online racial justice organization. I think they have over 2 million members now on an email list, and they push them in different directions to make sure that the public is being heard, especially when it comes to these social causes that matter to us the most. Anthony, do you have anything that you want to shine some light on?
Definitely. I definitely want to shout out an organization that I've been reading about and donating to, the Brave Space Alliance. It's a Black-led and trans-led center located on the south side of Chicago, which helps provide resources and services to the LGBTQ community. And I also wanted to take a minute to shout out something that has been a very slow burn on this podcast. You heard about it in our second episode of all time.
Whoa.
California with Corey Anderson, but our previous guest's short film is finally debuting at an online film festival. That's right. You don't even have to leave your house and maintain a 6-foot distance. You can watch with your family.
Wow.
You can tell your friends about it. So go check that out. The link to tickets for the online film festival is on the Instagram for the film, which is at Wake Me Up Short Film. That's at Wake Me Up Short Film. Go show your support and shout out our lovely previous guest.
Yes, Corey Anderson, one of our favorite guests, such a lovely person, and she made such an incredible short film. I got lucky enough to come onto set one day, and she is just such an incredible artist. So please go out there, support LGBTQIA artists now as well. Support your POC friends. Support everyone. Raise voices up. Do not push them down. Last thing I just want to say, this was very specific to the protest I went to this weekend, but if you have a little bit of extra money, please consider donating it to the Broadway Youth Center of Chicago. It is a small nonprofit that helps kids who would otherwise not be able to get this help get proper education, GED tests. It helps a lot with Black trans youth. They were just so present at this protest this weekend that I feel incredibly indebted to them. I think they are an incredible organization. So even if it's just $1, throw it their way and you'll make some kid's day. It'll pay back 1,000 times to Sunday.
And also, wear your fucking masks outside. Mask! We've seen so many states marching towards reopening, and it's just such bullshit. So it sucks that we have to keep saying this, but we're gonna have to go back inside if everyone is not wearing their fucking
Is this
masks.
What you want? Is this what you want out there? You want us to be inside for another bunch of months? No. Wear your mask, protect yourself, protect others. It can be wearing a mask. think of it as a selfish act if that's what you want to do.
No, let me just clarify. I did misspeak. I'm not saying that we have to go back inside. I've been inside this whole fucking time. We're responsible. We're washing our fucking hands. We all wear masks. We all bully each other about it. But there are so many people who are rushing to go sit on patios and shit who have not even been to a protest. So fucking just do better.
By the way, if you're one of those very few people who are worried about the spread of virus at protests, I have never seen a more masked up group in my entire face. And I have seen the Jabberwockies perform, sir. Yeah, that's right. A joke. Hasn't been on this podcast in a while, but we are moving towards hope now. And hopefully serious change, systemic, institutional change in this country. This is not something that happened over a month. This is not something trendy for you to put on Instagram. This is what your life needs to be about now, bringing justice to those in America who do not have it. And for the 4th of July, like we said at the beginning, a holiday all about freedom. We can celebrate it this year by recognizing those in America who do not have that freedom and fighting for them.
Absolutely. Well said, Stu. So, everybody, be safe out there. Be good to each other. Next week, we're going to have a special surprise for you. We're very excited about it. We don't want to tilt our full hand, but definitely check back next week. There's going to be something you don't want to miss.
Yes, there are going to be a couple of new voices on the podcast voicing some interesting points of view.
Not new per se, but there'll be some returning guests who are going to have a lot of fun. So,
spoilers.
All right, everybody, stay positive.